welcome to the Psychologist NDTV. Now, this is more or less a part 2 of our video on growth and development. If you're new to the Psychologist NDTV, please kindly click on that subscribe button now. That's quite important to me, yeah. So click on the subscribe button and also click on the notification button, the bells symbol, under the video, so you can be notified of all our future videos. We are talking developmental psychology, and it gets more interesting by the day. So we've titled this video the nature-nurture controversy, and this is going to flow from a little discussion on the influence of heredity and environment, maturation and learning on the child's growth and development. So like we said, heredity refers to inherited characteristics from our parents, characteristics from our parents, both physical and non-physical characteristics, are usually passed on through the instrument of the gene from parents to offspring. We inherit characteristics like the eye color, ability to roll the tongue, and other personality characteristics from our parents, and that's heredity, what we inherit from our parents through the genes. While environment refers to our environment, our physical environment, and then our psycho-emotional environment as well. And we must take this into great consideration. Now, when raising a child, the growth of that child will be influenced by the environment. How comfortable is the environment? How hygienic is the environment? Does the child have all that he needs for growth? Sufficient air? How safe is the child's environment? All that will influence the child's growth, and usually it's good for children to grow in a stimulating environment. So you have to enrich the environment with toys and with things that will help them to explore, to play, and to think. And as they do that, as they explore, as they play, they learn in the process. Now, but some parents nowadays focus mostly on the physical environment, provide all the toys, provide a conducive environment for growth, but the psycho-emotional aspect is missing. So there's no sufficient interaction between the child and significant others in the environment. There's no love, and there's no modeling for the child. And this is also going to affect the child's growth. So when we talk about environment affecting growth, it's not just the physical environment, it's the physical and the psycho-emotional environment of the child. Now, like we said, both maturation and learning play significant roles in growth and development. When we talk about maturation, we're talking about the manifestation of pre-programmed characteristics in the individual in a sequential order. So all of those things, most of the things we do, for instance, people usually marvel at the fact that a baby born today is able to suck. If you put the breast to the mouth of a baby that's just been born, baby will start sucking immediately. I mean, where did that baby learn that? It was pre-programmed in the baby through the genes. So that's maturation. Now, on the other hand, we have learning, and learning refers to the change in behavior as a result of experience, relatively permanent change in behavior as a result of experience. When we start doing videos on learning, principles of learning, when we start talking about learning, we are going to discuss learning in details, but for now we're on to growth and development. What I want to say is that both learning and maturation influence the child's growth. For instance, it will be very difficult for anyone to teach a 1-month-old baby to walk. No matter how much you try to teach a 1-month-old baby to walk, you're going to fail because the child has not developed the necessary characteristics. There's not sufficient maturation in terms of muscular development for the child to be able to walk, okay? And also, if a child has matured to the level of being able to talk, it will be difficult to teach for the child to talk well, especially as much as his age mates who have sufficient stimulation. If there's no sufficient stimulation, if the child has no one to talk with, nobody to model communication to the child may lack sufficient vocabulary, may not develop in terms of vocabulary and other aspects, as well as the other colleagues or age mates who have sufficient stimulation. All we're trying to say is that both maturation and learning are very important as the child grows and develops, and parents and teachers and all significant others should ensure that both in physical environment and psychosocial and emotional environment, it's good for the child, it's conducive for the child, And that we also, part of our environment is the food we give the child. We give them healthy food that also help them to grow and develop adequately. Now, talking about nature nurture controversy. What's the nature? Okay, give me a second. Nature and nurture. Okay, I hope I pronounced that well. I'm Nigerian. I'm not English, but I'm just trying. Okay. Yeah. So the nature nurture controversy. Now, nature refers to heredity, our genetic makeup, whilst nurture refers to the environment. And the entire controversy is based on a heated an age-long argument between psychologists on which of these two factors plays a greater role in growth and development, which of these two factors has a greater influence on growth and development. While some psychologists say it's nature that has a greater influence, as other psychologists say it's nurture, that's our environment, that has a greater influence on our growth and development. I seem to think nature has a greater influence, but the more wide view is that there's a 50-50 influence of nature and nurture on our growth and development. Okay, so that's the nature controversy. Now, in studies that are related to nature nurture controversy or having to determine which plays a greater role on our growth and development is usually twin studies that is used to determine the extent of control of nature and nurture on our growth and development. And there have been a lot of interesting twin studies supporting nature nurture controversy. Now, I would like you to go read up a few, and one of the most significant twin studies that supports nature nurture controversy or about nature nurture controversy is that of the Jim twins. The Jim twins, and the Thomas Bouchard studied the Jim twins, and the results of that study were quite interesting. Okay, so the Jim twins were a set of twins who were separated at birth and adopted by two different parents. And there's a lot of too much to be said as being coincidence in the life of the Jim twins. First of all, the Jim twins were adopted by two individual parents who never knew each other, but both parents named these twins Jim. So James by different parents, and first name was Jim. And by the time they got to meet each other after 37 years, they found out that both of them had dogs named Toy in their childhood. They both had dogs in their childhood, and both of them had named their childhood pet Toy. Okay, they both liked maths and carpentry woodwork, and both of them were 6 feet tall and weighed 180 pounds. They grew up in individual different locations. Both of them had married ladies named Linda, had divorced these ladies, and remarried ladies named Betty, both of them. Both of them smoked the same brand of cigarettes and drank Miller Lite beer, the same brand of beer. And as the researcher Thomas Bouchard sat with them, he noticed that both of them had fingernails that were beaten to the top, so they both beat their fingernails. So how much more could people be alike, yet raised in different environments? So it's left for you to come up with your own point of view, but the controversy is whether it is nature or nurture that has a greater influence on our growth and development. All I can say is whatever you can do to ensure that your children have good genes and grew up in the best environment, do so, because there's an overwhelming influence of both nature and nurture on our growth and development. Yeah, so this is how far we're going to take this video for today. It keeps getting better. If you're yet to subscribe to the Psychologist NG TV, what are you waiting for? Please hit on that subscribe button. You're getting lectures on developmental psychology more or less free of charge, and it's every inch worth it because psychology applies to every single aspect of our life. I mean, finding psychology was like one of the best things to happen to me. It was not my first love. My first love was biology, which I still love till today. And of course, you can't do psychology without biology, without a good knowledge of biology. So it flows, but I've come to love psychology so much that I think everyone needs to study psychology, as a matter of fact. So it's been a good time again with you today. Join us very soon. That's why I said please enable notification, because we're going to be uploading videos more frequently than previously, so you don't miss out on any videos. Please leave your comments, and I'd love to read them, and leave your questions in the comment section. I'll answer them as much as I can. And it's been a pleasure. Have yourself a beautiful day out there, and don't stop learning. Learning is continuous. When we stop learning, we die. So ensure you learn something new every day. And learning, that's why we say learning is a change in behavior. So you haven't learned until what you've learned has manifested in your behavior. Learning is only achieved at the point of application. And that's one problem we have around us. We learn, we know a lot of things, but we don't apply them. Let us change that. Begin to apply the knowledge that you have, no matter how ridiculous, no matter how little it is. Make sure you apply all the knowledge that you acquire. Otherwise, your learning will be useless. You're as good as someone who has not learned. It's been a pleasure, like I say again, and have yourself a pleasant day. Bye.